Okay, welcome back Megawell team. Thanks for tuning into another video. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. It's great to have you here. And if you have any questions about today's video, remember to leave them down in the comments below. Today's video is going to be a technical analysis and price prediction for Glimmer. We haven't done a video on Glimmer for a while, but we have caught some nice trades on it in the last few months. Before we get into anything, I do want to bring your attention to the pinned comment down below. We have our links to our Twitter, our Telegram, our VIP Telegram, and our newly launched Crypto Academy Become a Trader course. If you click on that website link, you'll find all the information there, and if you want to inquire, you can contact me via the email within that website. With that being said, let's dive right in and get stuck into it. So what are we seeing here on Glimmer? So for those of you, I guess, who've been watching a lot of my videos, you know how I like to structure these technical analysis videos. I like to really start from a clean slate and walk you through every single step of the way exactly how we come to our analysis. And not only does this allow you to develop your trading skills, but it kind of gives you understanding and reasoning to why I say what I say. You'll find a lot of people just posting these price predictions without really describing how they come to their conclusions. So that's why I kind of like to break it down. So our step number one, guys, is to analyze the entire chart, kind of put in our major support and resistance zones, and we use the VPVR here, particularly if the chart is choppy like this. We don't have a lot of data, of course. It has only been around for, less than 4 months, so we don't really have that much data. So we're going to use the VPVR just to give us a little bit of assistance at indicating zones of, significant buy and sell pressure. So first and foremost, what we can do is we can just input our POC line, and we know our POC line is going to be represented as this red line on the chart. We're going to quickly change that to red, and that is our POC line. Moving up from here, we have areas of minor and major resistance. Of course, we have a minor, or should I say, at this point, we have a little bit of a support zone at the $3.66 range. From there, moving upwards, we do have a little bit of resistance, of course, at this local high, and this is going to be about $5.25. And of course, moving up there, it gets a little bit tricky since we don't have a lot of data. So what we're going to do, we're going to quickly go down to a smaller time frame and try assess the rest of this chart on a smaller time frame. So we're going to input another resistance line at $6.75. We do, of course, have retests at this point. That is enough to confirm a possible area of resistance. And then moving upwards, we're not going to worry about anything up here. There just really isn't much data. We do have a little bit of an indication of resistance on the VPVR around here, but of course, not too relevant right now since we just don't really have the data on the chart to support that claim. So these are our major levels we want to come here looking out for. From here, what we're going to do is we're just going to break it down to, a smaller time frame, and we're going to go ahead and put our horizontal lines in. Now we're going to fill in the horizontal lines for the current price action as well as the previous price action, just in case any of that data will be used in our current analysis. Sometimes, obviously, although previous market structures are no longer valid, they can sometimes provide a little bit of insight to what happened in the past and therefore can reflect and affect your decision making in the future. So straight away we had this pennant formation, and we did break out of that pennant formation. In fact, we actually got a trade signal on this at an entry point at $3 for VIP, and we ended up making a pretty significant profit on that one, around 98%. So VIP jumped that one at $3, we made a pretty good profit. Since then, we, obviously support resistance and flip, pushed up, rejected in this level here, and we've come back down. So what we're going to do now, we're going to zoom out. We're going to see if we can see any macro structures. Of course, the chart is quite choppy. There's not really too much going off. I can't really identify any major macro structures. We're going to move down to the current time frame and see if we can identify any structures on the current time frame. So straight away, we're going to be taking our level of resistance from this point. The reason we're not taking it from here is because we can't assume that this is a break above resistance or rejection from resistance yet. We need to find data points behind the local high, the previous local high, to then support this claim. So what we can do is we can draw this line across. Obviously, we do have points of resistance, and this is pretty, we can take this and we can say this is pretty much a valid resistance line. We have a support resistance flip, we have rejections, and obviously the price hasn't quite reached that level yet, but it looks like it's heading in that direction. So obviously this was a overextension. The reason we can say it was an overextension because we had this major support zone at $5.22, and we can see we extended over that, faked out, rejected, crashed back down into this present value and this present trend. So that is where we're starting off with our analysis today, guys. From here, all we're going to do is we're going to apply some technical indicators, try to figure out exactly where the price will be heading, and then obviously give you guys our opinion on what we think you should be doing if you're interested in trading this coin. So first and foremost, obviously, just from a macro perspective and a chart analysis perspective, this is in fact a bull flag, or what you would call a descending channel. These generally break upwards. There's two ways we can assess the measured move on this. It depends what we would prefer to call this. The distance of this is about 2 weeks. So we can confirm that due to the length of this consolidation, it is more likely to be a descending channel than it is to be a bull flag. Bull flags are often shorter term time frame consolidations when you have two trend lines descending which are equally parallel to each other the entire time period is down. A descending channel is the same thing, but it's extended over a period of greater than 2 weeks, which we are currently seeing. So to get the measured move from a descending channel, what we're going to do is we're going to take the bottom period. So what we can do is we take the bottom period of the first local low, which is in line with this, to the peak of the apex entry in. So what I mean by that is we take the descending trend line, we find the peak of that where the price initially touched it, that is our measured move, and we can apply that to our presumed breakout point. Obviously our breakout point is going to be on the descending trend line, so it will therefore affect the price action. But what we can do is we can take a line here, copy and paste that line across, apply it to the end of the range, and then what we can do, we can draw a line across here, and we can say anywhere between these 2 points along this level, we can expect the price to be reaching. So that is kind of our target here. It's more of a dynamic range. We can expect some sort of move, we can expect some sort of move upwards if we do get above upwards here to retest anywhere between this level as a target. So that is the short-term target for Glimmer. And of course, if you were willing to trade this coin, you'd be waiting for a retest of this trend line, putting your entry or your take profit at between your $2 and $5.25 range, which is a major resistance, and slightly above, and your stop loss will be below the previous small time low, meaning your stop loss would be below this consolidation period here, provided the price continues upwards. So if we see the price actually play out as represented by this orange line, this is where your stop loss would be. All right. If, however, we saw a price represent like this, where would you put your stop loss? You would put your stop loss again below this low here. All right, so you got a greater risk. So that is how we'll be looking to trade Glimmer, guys. Our price target will be around $5.25 at initial. Zooming out for Glimmer, what we're going to do next is just look at the technicals, and we use these technicals to kind of support our claims. We have made a claim, we've made a hypothesis, we've dissected the market, we've identified a trend, and we've identified certain targets. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at the macro on the larger time frame. We're going to go to the 12 hours since there is not a lot of chart data. We're putting in our moving averages. Of course, a 100-day moving average we are above, which is really nice to see. If we go to a 6 hour, we're above the 200-day moving average. Again, it is in fact in an uptrend, so the market is in fact bullish for Glimmer. We can expect the price to more favorably rise. It doesn't mean it will rise, it means there's a greater chance that if we do break out of this descending channel, we will reach that final target. Looking at our super trends, we're looking pretty neutral here. We're finding resistance on this second super trend, half green, half red, so we're pushing upwards again. There's major resistance zone at $4.48. It will act as a bit of a suppressor for this coin. And if we take a look at the Gaussian channel, we can see we are currently testing the upper resistance of that channel, which is around $4.13, where we just rejected off. So it's safe to say that entering now is probably not the best bet. You'd be waiting for a break of this channel. If we break the channel, we would clear the upper resistance of the Gaussian channel, and we'd expect to see some sort of move that we saw here, which is a nice strong push upwards. And what we're going to do next is take a look at the bull market support band. We are in fact above the bull market support band, and Ichimoku Cloud, we are testing the conversion line on the clouds. All right, guys, so overall chart is looking pretty good. We've given you our targets, we've given you our opinion of what we think is going to happen. And of course, the bearish scenario for this coin is that we come down and retest anywhere down here. All right, so retesting this level will provide another buying opportunity, entering at this level again, expecting the same thing. All right, we have to remember, a descending channel is a bullish pattern, meaning it more often than not breaks to the upside. But that doesn't mean we can't swing low again. Even if we swing low down here, technically the trend is still downwards, but we are expecting an upward break at some point. All right, so right now we are still in a downtrend. All right, this whole structure is a downtrend until we break this resistance, and that is why we say do not look to enter until the downtrend is broken, because if you enter before that trend is broken, you are technically trading against the trend. You want to trade with the trend. All right, so wait for the entry to break. Of course, we have alternative scenarios. We can come down here first, then push upwards. All right, then you have your breakout point, or we can consolidate here, push upwards, or we can come down and retest here. There's 3 different possible scenarios here, and the way on which you should react to these scenarios is going to be the same. All right, you're waiting for that breakout point. So what happens between now and then is irrelevant. Don't be like, okay, you know, here's the information and it went down 10% and before it went up, who cares? It doesn't matter. You shouldn't be trading it now anyway. You're waiting. This is just a preemptive warning, an analysis of what I see to happen in the future for this coin. So guys, if you liked the video today, remember, drop a comment. Remember to show your support and like it. If you want to subscribe to our channel, that would be much appreciated. Of course, we're trying to grow this channel to provide you guys the most educated and detailed source of technical analysis for altcoins and of course Bitcoin on the whole of YouTube. So we'll appreciate your support. Until then, we'll see you in the next video.